What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodshed. Today I'm going to show you guys my version of the Root Rider spam attack. Let's go ahead and get into it. That's right, you guys heard me here right. We're doing the Root Rider spam attack, and yes, I'm calling it a spam attack. Even though it's not a traditional spam attack, it's definitely not something that's super complex. I did spend a little bit of time kind of tweaking it to kind of my adjustments, so we're going to take a look right here, and boom, this is it. Ignore this. This is not it. This is it. We run 10 Valkyries, we run an Apprentice Warden, we run 11 Root Riders, 2 Rages, 1 Freeze, 2 Overgrowths, and a Siege Barracks. The extra value you get from the Siege Barracks is undoubtable. And what we're running in the Clan Cast, we're running a Poison. We're going to use that mainly just to help kind of slow down the opposing Clan Castle. And we are using another Rage spell. And I'm going to tell you guys kind of how I go through these. Really how I'm working through some of these bases and how I'm trying to conserve these spells while I'm using some certain ways versus others. I'm going to show you guys a couple different bases so you guys really have an idea on how to use this attack strategy no matter what kind of base you're attacking. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into attack number 1. So, here is attack number 1. So this is a diamond-based type style with the Town Hall in the middle. So it's going to be important to identify, 1, where the Town Hall's at, and 2, where the Eagle Artillery's at, and where all the big defenses are, right? So like on a base like this, you'll notice that there is a ton of stuff clustered in the middle surrounding the Town Hall. The point to a base like this is for you to be able to get here, and for the couple poison towers plus this to kind of sputter out, and then not really give you any more options on what you're really going for, right? So, in order to attack this base, I'm actually going to go headfirst into the Monolith, and I'm going to Overgrowth this core right here. That way I don't have to worry about those scatters doing anything to me, those poison towers doing anything to me. I think I might even get the multi-archer towers there, but let's kind of see how this plays out. So I'm going to throw down all my Valkyries right around this line, and I'm mainly doing that just to kind of help funnel, get rid of some of the initial buildings here. That way when I place the Siege Barracks and I place my King Queen, they all kind of follow my Root Riders into the base, right? I do Overgrowth everything. I don't get the Builder Huts or the multi. You'll see I spam all my Root Riders in just a couple different spots right there. And then I Siege Barracks, Warden, King, Queen. I actually put my RC up here at the very top. Normally I wait at least to like 20 or 30% mark before I start throwing her down. But in a base like this, because I'm kind of going for that Monolith, my Root Riders would go here, Monolith, that, and then normally they would kind of float off to the side over here. You know, either go over to this Archer Tower, over to this, and then ideally would come over here, but I kind of want to make it a straight line for them. So I'm going to put my RC over at the top here, and they're actually going to help kind of funnel my Root Riders. That's something you never thought you'd hear, an RC used for funneling, but it's true because it's attacking only defenses. I am going to freeze to get that multi-archer out of my way for half a second. Also to kind of slow down that Eagle Artillery from kicking my butt too much. That way I can actually get into that core right there. That way he's actually not hitting any of my troops here. Now when you get to the center like this is a mess. And you'll notice I threw down a Rage here, and I threw down another Overgrowth right here. I'm touching my computer like y'all can see where my hands are. I threw down my Overgrowth over here. The reason for that is I want to keep all my troops in one section. I need them to stay together, right? I need my King, Queen, Warden, and my Root Riders to stay together. The Root Riders can take care of all the defenses. I need something to help me take care of, you know, the King and the Queen and the Clan Castles. So I throw a Poison spell actually down on top of that too, just to kind of slow down those troops. And I'm actually going to hit my Warden ability with something like this base in particular, where there's just so much in the middle. You need to save the Warden ability until you get into the guts of that base. So it's actually going to help keep me alive for so much longer. And I should place down a Rage over here in a second. Perfectly called it. Putting down a Rage over there just to kind of get my stuff out of that core and out of that poison bomb from the Town Hall that much quicker. I am also going to throw down another Ice. Another free spell, and I actually do have one to spare, and honestly, I don't even need it. I am going to use it on that scatter just because it's kind of getting on my nerves, but you see I still have all my heroes left alive. I still have a handful of Root Riders. I mean, I've just absolutely demolished this base and dismantled it, and the rest of it's easy cleanup. I still even have my RC ability, which I'm using now just to make her speed up a little bit, just to make life a little easier, but now there's nothing left, and now it just comes down to the cleanup, and this attack didn't take me 2 minutes. So this is a great first attack to show you guys. Diamond base, central located. Let's go into something a little different, alright? Alright, so number 2, this one is a square base, but this one is more of a teaser styled base. If you guys remember the old school styles where they had the southern teasers where they would have a town hall down here and, like, you know, a small amount of stuff around it, and then a Tesla farm popped up all of a sudden. This is kind of an example of that because he has the 2 spell towers, he has his monolith within reach of his town hall, and he has 2 heroes. So this is a really annoying section to get through. Now, a lot of people doing an attack like this, what they would do is they would come Valkyries along this side, kind of Root Rider, in through this section of the base or this section of the base. Either one of these corners, realistically, it doesn't matter. And then you're getting to the middle of the part here, and you start to kind of sputter out because the Eagle's been shelling away at you. You can overgrowth that. But the Monolith and the Town Hall and those poison spells is not something you want to be dealing with at the end, in my opinion, with this attack. That constant pressure does make it a little bit harder. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place a bunch of Valkyries right over here along with a Rage spell to help me take care of a lot of... Wow, and actually I overgrowth first, so I must have been a little anxious about going into this. But you'll see I put all the Valkyries down. I do put down a Rage spell with it, which I normally don't do. I took out the Queen relatively easily. Root Riders are going in. I'm making sure they're going on top of that Rage spell. So that way they'll break into those walls a lot faster because I want to try and get my King and Queen into there. My King is going to take a hike, which does make me really, really sad. But I do have no problem getting into this base. You'll notice that that Poison Tower did drop, but I also did keep my ability just for that very second. Everything's actually coming up, and now that everything's going to turn onto that Monolith all in 1 second over here. It's going to keep on going. I should drop out. Yep, I did a poison to kind of predict the Clan Castle coming out. I'm also going to freeze him because I'm a little worried about the amount of damage that's being done to my troops at this moment. Depending on how much I'm paying attention, I should hit the Queen's ability here in a second because the healer puppets that she does have with her. That comes undone. That's right. Perfect. And so the healers come in. They're actually going to help follow that. My Royal Champ, you'll notice I did save her a little later than like I did in the first attack. And she ended up coming in on this side. I'm sorry I didn't notice that to actually show that to you guys. That's probably why I took an extra second on the healer puppets. But she ended up coming over on this side, and because there's just so little left of the base, and I gutted all the major stuff. A lot of the scatters got taken out. The only thing left that would do a lot of damage to me would be that double cannon. But because I got rid of the Eagle, I got rid of the Monolith, I got rid of the Town Hall, I got rid of the Spell Towers, I got rid of the Scatter Shots, there's just nothing at the end here that can do enough damage to my Root Riders to make this attack a concern at this point. And so the rest of this same thing is just cleanup. I normally do save a Valkyrie or two just to have that extra little bit of cleanup, but haven't needed it as of lately. And again, like I said, this is one I was not super confident going into because of how that Town Hall was set. But this seems to be a really good way to deal with it that I really like. Let's go into at least one more example, alright? Alright, attack number 3. This is a square base, but it's centralized, and this is one you guys will see a lot. So please pay attention, because I think I have figured this base out. And Beam is not happy about it, because he loved the idea of this base, and I rolled it immediately. So please, 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 pay attention to me. If you're ever in your life, just pay attention to me now, alright? So, we have the double invis, and the invises in the middle can actually cover just about everything. That's true, they can. So what they want to with this base design is, for one, they have everything kind of around the outside, hoping that your Root Riders will just kind of go around the entire end of the base, right? But I have a way to do that, and it includes using my Royal Champion as a funnel, right? So I'm probably going to come in here towards the top and get rid of that Eagle. No, I'm actually going to come in on the other side. A little surprising for me. I'm going to give them kind of a second. I'm actually going to overgrowth one side of that. The reason I'm overgrowthing just one side is because I want that thing to kind of come off of its cooldown by the time this invis actually runs out. So my goal is to now get into this core and to have this pop and come off at around the same time that this comes off. Okay? So I placed down my Root Riders, I placed down my Siege Barracks, my King, I placed down my Royal Champion at the top. Again, I'm using her to funnel my Root Riders into the core of the base. If I can get into the core of the base, I have this guy dead to rights. That's the only downside to it now, is you have to make sure you can properly funnel in there. I'm going to Rage Spell. That's going to come off perfect. I'm going to drop my Poison. My things are going to start going for that air defense, or that air sweeper. And what do you know? If you guys didn't notice it, as soon as they got to that air defense, that overgrowth was done. So I timed it perfectly. So this invis was done, and that means now that my stuff still has things that will keep it into the guts of the base, which is really what I needed here. And now I still have basically all of my Root Riders over there. You see my RC, she did end up going a little bit on a hike, going a little bit of a different path. She had to hit her ability. But she's doing a lot of cleanup on that side, doing a lot of the Lord's work, as we like to call it, where I'm from. And I have a ton of Root Riders, and it is going to be a little sketchier for them. I wish I had realized I had more free spells. I would have used one on the double cannons, because the double cannons surprisingly do a lot of damage. They do a lot of damage to Root Riders, and it kind of boggles my mind. You'll notice I hit my healer puppet at about the normal time I would, right in the middle of the raid. I've done a bad job of highlighting that, and I apologize. I'm using the healer puppet just to buy time for my riders, hoping that they basically don't stay on my queen. And the point of them not staying on my queen is them being able to heal my troops while they're going through the base, kind of giving them just a little bit extra life, because I'm hitting them, and my queen should be behind these things basically the entire time, making life pretty easy for them. So this one wasn't the coziest raid of all time because of how annoying that style was, and again, I should have used some free spells over here when all my Root Riders were here, as opposed to over here with my Royal Champion, who was almost dead. But it still played out really well for me. I still got a really nice 3-star out of it. And yeah, I hope my explanation of this attack helped you guys a little bit. I appreciate you guys for watching. So thank you so much. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what are the cat tutorials y'all want to see in the future. And I'll catch y'all later. Thanks, everybody.